can just put it this way, that we can always rise or fall depending with the level of our mindset. If you're thinking so small, that's sure that that's your mindset. You always attract small things.
Hello folks, thank you very much for tuning in with me to the Charles Edwards Show. It is a pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege to be with you today. Of course, I'm your host, Charles Edwards, the man they call the motivator, coming to you live from my Skyline office studio in a beautiful downtown Westlands, Nairobi. So today I'm privileged to host one of my best friends here in the studio, and he's none other than George Simiyu. Simiyu is a professional MC. He's an author and a life coach. He is also a founder and CEO at the Inspire Talks. Sure. And Simiyu, thank you so much for being part of this show today.
All right, thank you.
I welcome you so much. And maybe something that maybe most of the people wouldn't know about you is that you are an HR by profession and also a lecturer at Moy University.
That is true.
Is that the right information that I should be giving out?
Yes, it is.
Thank you so much. So Simiyu, like I said, I'm really honored to host you into the studio today, and I'm really very happy. And I believe that we are going to share something that is going to inspire somebody somewhere out there. And maybe before we start, you just walk us through your life step-by-step process that you had to go through and what has made the Simiyu we are now seeing here in the studio today.
All right, thank you so much. Perhaps I can just begin by appreciating for this opportunity to be on this show. As I say, that it's a place where we keep on learning, and the time we stop learning, then as somebody puts it, we stop living. And so thank you once again for having me here. Well, to our viewers, I must perhaps just mention to you that I haven't arrived yet. Life is a journey, and like somebody again puts it, and life is a journey towards God. Yeah, so I'm still moving on, and I'm determined to go further. But as he puts it, up to this level, someone may consider me to be a bit successful, and I am truly grateful to God. Well, as just like any other person, I was not born with greatness. But something I've learned, and I'm working towards becoming it. And so this really helps us to understand that there's some things I've been working on. Well, I attended a school in the village, perhaps even without shoes.
I remember those days.
Even without some good uniforms, you get it. And I went to just an average school, and you see, that's how my life began. But one thing that really pushed me forward is that I had a focus. I had a desire to become somebody great. We all have heard of a story where there are some people who visited a particular village. Then they were wondering, why is it that this village has always been producing great people? And so they went into this research, and one day they landed in this village, and they asked the villagers there that, is there anyone great born in this village? And the people said no. Interesting. These guys were so curious. Why are these people saying no when we've seen quite a number of great people from this village? And then another astonishing answer they gave is, great people are not born here, but only babies who grow up and choose to become great. Meaning everyone is born equal, and kind of a situation. And so that also explains my case. Well, I grew up in the village and all that, but I chose to rise. I focused on the right things, and perhaps that summarizes why I'm here today. Yes.
Now, Simiyu, basing on your wonderful explanation, and you've mentioned something that you chose to rise. Would you say that rising to the top is a choice, or is something that comes by default basing on the family, from the family you were born or the environment that you are in. What causes these people to rise from one level to another?
Maybe I can take you back from what we just mentioned. Whether you rise or remain where you are is a choice. Yeah, God has given us that discretion to make choices in life. Just again, as it's always been, we all fall down when you're trying to do things in life to achieve anything. But there are those who choose to stand up, wipe themselves up, or dust themselves off, and that is it. They keep on moving forward. And you have them that fall, then they stop there. But one thing we note here is about a choice. What do you want? If you're so discouraged about it, you make a choice not to move forward. And then you begin to complain. You begin to give much excuses why life is not so good to you, why opportunities are not there, things close to that. So at the end of the day, one thing we should just remember is that we all have the chances to make choices which can now make changes in our lives. So actually those three things, I always find them very important. We do have the chance that is.
Yeah.
That chance is to make a choice. Yeah. Then that choice is going to make a change. And I think all these changes is what is leading to greatness. So it's absolutely up to you. But again, when you talk about choices, what kind of choices are we making? Are they quality choices, or those things that they really don't add much value in life? So as we talk about choices, remember they have consequences, but also now make the right choices that add value to our life. And I just maybe again stop at saying that make the right choice. Then if you don't make the right one, again there's no way we can avoid the consequences. Yeah.
Okay. So now, Simiyu, maybe that one takes me to the next question. And I would ask, how did you find yourself in the speaking industry and coaching industry, and even coming up with the Inspire Talks? Maybe you tell us a little about that.
Well, everything starts small. I had a desire, and I knew I could speak, but I wanted to know how to speak well. Everybody can speak, but not everybody can speak well. And so at some point, I was during my time in the university when I was doing my first degree, I could find myself talking to guys or in forums and things close to that. Then people get excited. They tell me, man, you should be in media. You're a good speaker. Things close to that. Then from then I got inspired. Oh, so I can speak. But back in my mind again, I had a desire to go into speaking, because one, I was so much inspired by somebody who I used to admire what they do. So that's where the inspiration was. And so during that time, I was using as learning when I was in campus as a learning time to know just how to speak. Then after some point, I had to go now into looking for a few of these guys and try to meet them. I'm learning about mentorship, but now by God's grace again, I had to meet the person that I had been looking forward to. And there's a guy called Pepe Minambo. I think you've ever heard about him. So one day I was just on the street here in a place in Nairobi, and I meet this guy. I've read quite a number of his books.
You just met with him?
Yes, on the street, in person. I've never met him before, but I know him because I've been looking at his video, I've been watching his video, I've read his books. And so this afternoon, there was an afternoon when I was on my own just activities in the town. Then I bumped into this guy. He was talking to somebody. I was going elsewhere. I had to cut my schedule. Though he couldn't notice that I was there, but when I saw him, I just stopped. Then wait. I just said, even if he's going to talk for an hour, I'll wait for this guy. So this guy engaged his friend for a while. Then at the conclusion of his chat with his friend, I approached him as well, introduced myself. I'm so and so. I'm so inspired by you and whatever you do, and so I would really love to know about these things. And then interestingly, he looked into my eyes and said, young man, you really have I love your passion and the way you are enthusiastic about these old stuff. So, okay. So I asked him, is there anything you can do with me so that I can, this is my desire. So how can you work with me? Then interestingly, he was planning for an activity. It should be towards the end of that week. It was at the start of the week. He told me I'll be having an open forum at a place called KICC in town. That's Nairobi. And so, will you make time to be there? I told him yes. And by that time, he was walking in a different direction where I was not going. I had to change my direction to walk with him to that place. Yeah, just to hear of him. Then by the time we were at his place where he had parked his car, he had shared with me quite a number of information. We had already exchanged contacts and things of the sort. So immediately that evening, he sent me the flyer to that event and all that. And so you see, we were already friends. And then from the flyer, I even requested a few guys to join me that event. And so doing that, when he was hosting that event, he mentioned something that he's launching an academy for guys who are interested in public speaking. Then I know that now this is the time.
This is the time.
But again, I didn't have money. I didn't have money. It was costing around 40,000
Kenya shillings.
And I'm just a university graduate who doesn't have a job, trying to find his way in this in the busy city of Nairobi. And so, but I convinced myself, I told my friends, well, I don't have money, but I'm going to be this academy, whether it rains, it doesn't. And so after that, I enrolled for that program.
Did you have to go through the course without paying?
No, I paid. Yes. So I only had 5,000 then. Between me and poverty, as some people would put it. After that, I didn't have any. Then at that time, I was putting up with my brother. And so I went home and shared with him about the whole idea. He told me, no, I don't believe in this thing. The only thing I can give you is 5,000. He was working then. I told him, it's okay. Give me your 5,000. He agreed. Gave me. So I have 10,000. I went and paid at the time they had agreed us to do the first installment. And so you see now I have 30,000 to pay.
Exactly.
So interestingly, there was another event that he was to do. And then he rolled something interesting that any person who could invite the most people to come to that event, just trying to mobilize numbers, maybe there is a gift for this person. Well, I knew I had some influence, but I couldn't imagine, because in the whole academy we had people who were CEOs, people who are really doing business. They are so much networked that they had much influence than me. And so I also took on the challenge. So we could invite people and share their contacts as well. There's some committee that had been formed to manage communication and all that. So if I was to invite you, I'll tell them that I invited so and so, I've talked to you, and I've shared your contact, so that they'll also contact you to confirm, and even to make a follow-up for you to come. And so that whole campaign happened. I really took the initiative myself. Well, I didn't know how to turn out, and so I invited quite a number of people. And so after some time, that event came. It was very successful, and I was part of it. But now we didn't know who has won, because in the academy we were quite a number of people, and people did that.
Everybody was working.
Yeah, everybody was working towards that. We didn't know what was a gift anyway. And so after the event, we were doing just reviewing the event and all that. Then we came to a point of now seeing who invited the most people to the event. Yeah, and so surprisingly,
it was you.
It was me. Then the token was the person is being taken to this hotel here in Westlands. How do you call it? Kempiski.
Kempiski?
Yeah. Dinner for two.
Yeah.
In Kempiski. I've never been there. And it's just amazingly. Now I thought, being taken to Kempiski, and then how much is that? Good money, the dinner. And then that time it was the in thing in the city. Kempiski is a big thing. And so I approached this guy one day after the training. I told him, no, thank you for this opportunity. Well, I'm so excited about it. But how about this idea that the money that should be taking me to Kempiski be converted to my fee? Then he told me, no problem, you're a very brilliant guy. Go to class. Go to class. Now your fee sorted.
And that's how you paid the rest of the fee balance? Oh.
I even don't know how much they were to pay them. But that's how now, I only now can say my hard money, I only gave 10,000,
Yeah.
and the others were paying 40 and all that.
I think that is a explanation of the power of faith and having this positive mindset about what you want. And that one drives us back to the topic of which we are going to talk about, the mindset and this positive mindset, this growth mindset. And what would you say about maybe a rough definition of the word mindset from your own personal understanding?
It's more to do with how you perceive things, because how we perceive it is more about how mind is.
Yeah.
When you talk about negativity and positivity, it's all about your mind. Because from then, that's where now we begin to have issues to do with attitude and all that. But the state of your mind,
Okay.
that is still mindset.
That could be something.
What are you focusing on most of the time?
And
Sure.
what would you say as a person? How would you relate mindset and success? How do you relate mindset and success? How do you relate mindset and health? How do you relate mindset and the lifestyle that you are supposed to live?
Well, as you put it, mind drives life. And in many cases, we can never go where your mind has never been. For example, if you see success, you'll go there. If you don't see it in your mind, you'll never think about it. And so that defines the whole concept of garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you're thinking is what will come out. That it will give that energy also to really pursue it. So as you had asked, three things: one is mindset and about health, mindset and about success, and then the general life. One, for us to succeed in anything, I can just put it this way, that we can always rise or fall depending with the level of our mindset. If you're thinking so small, that's your mindset. You always attract small things. If you think big, you'll always be seen. That energy will always be seen, and eventually you realize you're getting attracted, and you're doing great things. That is it. And so when you want to be successful, when we want to be, one is our mindset. What do you always focus on? Things close to that. Even we have people who have health issues, like talk about depression and things of the sort. Most of the time, that are issue of the state of the mind. Because of you're always seeing the negativities about life and all that. Well, we go through challenges, but at times you get stuck there to a level that it leads to depression. But part of the healing, people always tell us that, okay, begin also to check on your mindset. Expose yourself to different situations, and eventually you realize you're gaining some good momentum in terms of the state of your mind. So we can just summarize it by saying that this life is driven by mindset. If you want good things, focus on them. If you want bad things, again, focus on them. So it's again important.
And would you say that mindset is a major key to success in your life?
Yes, it is. It contributes largely to success. Yes, because from it is when now you're going to act. If
from
your mind
is where you're going, when now you're going to apply hard work.
Yes, if your mindset, you've already given up, so it was speak something about your mindset. You'll act like a failure. But if you're so enthusiastic about success and greatness and things close to that, then again we'll see in your action and the energy you put in. So obviously it shows that this mindset, it contributes
a lot.
Yes, to a large extent, to a level of success.
Okay.
Well, we have quite a number of the other things, but mindset is one of it. We really have to put it right.
Now, Simiyu,
yes, please.
If a kid was to walk up to you, and this kid, in a simple explanation in a language of a child, he asks you, what is the key to success, how to get the life that he want or she want, what would be your explanation to this child in a simple language that a child can understand?
On how this child can succeed.
Yeah.
Well, success has different approaches. You must agree.
Yeah.
Your way to success could be different from mine.
Exactly.
So that also tells us that there is no a standard way to success.
Yeah.
But at least there are some things we can say, the principles we can always borrow from other people's life and see whether they can work for us. Well, what I find to be much more important to me, number one, is this kid has to love God.
Yeah.
In him is when we find everything. Whatever we are looking for, one is love God and truly love him, that is serving him as well. And number two, with that, you'll be able now to work on your mindset, because there are now other things that now they are, say, what helps us to move towards success. Things like now we just spoken about mindset. You learn a few things, improving on your faith and all that still works on your mindset. Things to do the hard work and all that, and that's what maybe if you're so keen, you realize that's what the Bible talks about and all that. And so, one, love God.
Yeah.
Two, like work on your mindset, know what you want. It's very important. Have a goal. You get it. These are some of the things that really lead to success. Yeah. So basically, there's nothing really new to success. I must just again agree with you. We just do things that people have been doing from time to time. What makes a difference is we have those that do them and succeed, and have them that even don't believe them and they don't do it, and then we see the results as well. So again, there's no secret to success. You know, like what I was telling a friend of mine the other day, I was telling him that now there's no secret to success. Even when I see people talking of and writing books or anything called the secret to success, what are you writing there? It's an open game.
Yeah.
Where you just see, okay, if somebody's working hard, you're seeing somebody's working hard, you can also work hard.
Yeah.
If they're working on good behaviors and character, things close to that, that is it.
Yeah.
And so these are some of the things that lead to success. Somebody else may also propose to you a few others, but the thing is now try to tune your life towards them. That is it. But there's just no something that you can just say, now stick on this one, stick on this one, stick on this one. No, because we are different.
Okay.
And we are again in different environment. But there are those that at least. But again, maybe just to summarize on the same, if you want to know more about what you should do to be successful, study the lives of a failure and somebody who has succeeded. In both of these lives, you'll always learn something. Somebody who has failed, they'll tell you, oh, this is the mistake I made. And you can learn from their mistake. And again, somebody who has succeeded, they have also failed some point, but again, there's something they can share with you. So again, keenly be close to people who have succeeded and people who have failed. Both of them, commercial. You'll always learn something.
Study all.
Yes, you'll always learn something. Then when you start early, it's better.
You have to pick something from them.
Unfortunately, in our society, we always focus on people who have succeeded.
Exactly.
And we even never think about those who have failed in doing a few things here and there. They have good lessons. For me, I've always been keen to be interested about their life and what they've been doing and maybe why they fail and all that. We learn. So part of what I can tell such a kid as well is even have time for these people who have failed.
And learn some lessons.
They will teach you. In fact, they may teach you more lessons than even those who have succeeded.
Get something to avoid.
They'll tell you, please don't do this.
Exactly. Sure. Now, Simiyu, what would you say is your number one key to success and to rising to this level?
One is God. He is at the center of my heart. I think that is one of the things that have really given me the focus. Yeah. Without him, then I think I could be elsewhere.
Everything crumbles down.
Yes. So, and when I'm being in him, I've learned of all other wisdom that I think he allows me to know about success and all that. And then again, I'm still learning. Sure.
Okay. Maybe you talk to us about your biggest failure in life.
Well, that's a very interesting question. Again, I must agree with you. I've failed in quite a number of things. I've I've had desires that maybe something will pick up to this level, but it doesn't. Well, up to this level, I cannot say that's the biggest because I'm still living. So I don't know what is in future, but as I mentioned to you that I've failed here and there. Quite tried on some projects, but some did not pick, some picked. But I've always known that it's always a learning time. So I've failed in life. If you allow, I can just stop there.
Exactly.
Yes, I've failed, and one thing, perhaps the lesson I've been learning when I fail is I learn the lesson and pick up myself. Yeah, like somebody will always put that the bend of the road is not the end of the road. Yeah, and those bends are there. I've encountered quite a number, and I think perhaps also with you in your life, you have. And
you
so
must experience stuff.
The most important thing is once we encounter them, we have to try to rise and see what's beyond that. And again, you realize some people always put it that anytime we fall down, we always face up, because when you face up, you can always rise up. Yeah. So that is always maybe the motivation. I fail, but I don't stop there.
You choose
face
to
up, and I choose to rise. So taking us to where we started again is absolutely up to you. When we fail, you have to choose to stand up
or choose to
remain down. You want to be counted or to be counted out. It's only up to you. So fail is there in anything we'll ever try in this life, whether we like it or not. Failure is part of the recipe. In fact, if you meet somebody who has succeeded and they tell you I've never failed, they're lying. Because
unless they have never achieved something.
Yeah, even failing maybe is part of achievement. Yeah, but failure is part of the journey. And in fact, I always look at it this way, that failure is part of the receipt to success. When you're preparing those ingredients, please add failure in it, because you can't succeed without failing. So for me, I cannot really pinpoint on one, but I know in my life I've failed. Yes.
And so you learned
I learned the lesson. I always learn from those failures. Then I do some good evaluation. What did I do right? What did I not do right? What should I do in this case? And then you always make a step forward. So actually, again, I talks about the attitude and the mindset that you have. If you're really focusing on something and your mindset is right, you'll fail, but you'll see again from the action you take after that.
You'll try to figure out what works and what
yes,
doesn't work.
Yes. Like again, you always hear some people tell you that everybody fails, or you can put it this way, that whatever happens in this life happens to everyone. But what makes the difference is how you react after that, what has happened. If you talk of it's raining perhaps to almost everyone in this region. So after the rains, you'll see the difference. There are those who will sit in the house and say that maybe I'm waiting for something. There are those who will move out and begin to prepare a few things. There are those who will go in the market. You get it. It happens. Life happens to everyone. But now how we respond to that, then that makes the difference, and that brings the issues of failure.
Exactly. Now, Simiyu, I like you said, you've gone through stuff. Now, what do you think keeps you going when all these things faces you each and every day? What keeps you going when things go tough?
Having hope for a better tomorrow. Having hope for a better tomorrow. But again, I always know that this life, we go through seasons. There is no season that is permanent.
Exactly.
So it could just be a season that we have to endure and go past it. And some people, that season breaks them down. For me, I've always had the perspective, or rather the mindset, that this is just a season. And what will make the difference is how I'll endure and see how I succeed or walk through it. Sure. So for me, I think having hope for a better tomorrow is what makes me to try to rise again. Because if you don't have hope, then
you cannot take a step.
Then also have enough faith in God that you know what is it.
Thank you so much. Now, Simiyu, if you were to start your life over again, started the Inspired Talks, you just want to start your life over again. So if you were to start your life over again, what do you think you will do differently so that you can scale your life to the level that you want, to that greatness that you think of in the quickest way possible?
Something that I'll do differently? I doubt whether I can be a different person, because one, I believe I'm living my purpose.
Yeah.
So one, I'll still do whatever I'm doing, but maybe what could be a bit more different is I may start early. That maybe could be the only difference. I feel I started on living this life of purpose a bit late. So I really try to start living my purpose as early as I could. Yeah, so that's maybe the only thing I think I can do different. And maybe more effort, things close to that. Because I can't tell you that when I go back, I'll be a different person. I've at least evaluated myself that God, when I go, then I come back.
You know what you want.
I know what I want.
So you will start early.
Yes.
And put in a lot of
More,
hard work and faith and all that.
Yes, so that I can achieve more.
Now, what question do you have ringing in your mind every day?
How can I become better? Things close to that. Maybe those are some of the questions I keep on asking myself. Like, whatever you're doing, how can I do it better than whatever I did yesterday? How can I improve myself? And I think maybe these are some of the questions that I really don't ask myself every day, but become a bit more frequent. How can I add more value to my life and the lives of others? Things close to that.
Things close to that. And that's one of the things, some of the things that we need to ask ourselves. How can I become a better person than I was yesterday?
Yes.
How can I impact other people's lives?
How can I become more than who I am today? Because again, as we know that anytime we become more than who we are, we will always attract more. If we really wanted to achieve some good levels in life, then the more we become, the more we attract.
Exactly.
I don't know if you understand that.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you always attract, let's say, some level of blessings, if you put it that way, to your level.
Exactly.
So, and that always pushes me to think of, okay, if I want more in whatever thing that I want, then let me become more. For example,
you will only become who you are.
Yes, become who you are, and you'll only get, in most cases, what you have become.
Not what you want.
Not what you want. You may want something, but you are less of that. You want of $1 million, but your brand is demanding for 100,000. You get it? That's what I mean. You want
to rebrand yourself
to that level. If you can't go to that level, then obviously you can never attract something greater to that. That's why maybe perhaps we complain big time that so and so is getting more than me. But have you ever asked, what have I become? And so back to what you just asked, one of the things I always ask myself is, how can I become more than who I am today? How can I do it better than who I've been? And things close to that. So that again brings in new energy. Trying to be a bit unique again in how I do it.
Exactly.
Some new skills and things close to that.
Exactly.
So becoming more, and that's one of the things that really drives me.
Okay. Now, Simiyu, if today was your last day and everybody was watching over you, and maybe part of that that you've done out of this life, you've started Inspired Talks, you are writing books, and all these things that you've done, and today was your last day, and basing on what you've done, you've picked a few lessons from life that you think that you can pass to the next generation or those people that you're leaving behind. What are some of the 3 good lessons that you think you picked from this life that you can pass to this generation that you're leaving behind?
Wow, that's a good question. Well, maybe something on purpose. Life is more enjoyable when we live in our purpose. So maybe you can just advise every person, number one, to really know what is your purpose. And the starting point is ask God to help you know that. So one, know your purpose. You won't waste a lot of time. You won't leave a lot of trial and errors and all that, because you're not wasting and time and resources. Yeah.
Doing other things that are not in line with your purpose.
So find out your purpose as early as you can. Number 2 is, again, I find life to be more enjoyable and fulfilling when we impact others.
Yeah.
It's all about you. Try to add value to other people's lives, so that when the time comes, you have made a good impact in the society. Those are the key things that I really focus on. Live your purpose, impact other lives with whatever resources, with who you are. Help people. Help people. Don't be too mean. If God has allowed you to have access to a few things here and there, see how you can help your people.
Exactly.
And make an impact. But again, as much as you're doing that, remember to serve God.
Exactly.
And maybe serving people, you're serving God as well. I think those are some of the key things that I've really found to be very much profound to be in my life. Knowing your purpose and maybe using your purpose to serve people.
And also don't forget about God.
Don't forget about God. It will really bring other things around and things close to your life in order. Yeah, sure. So that's very important.
Okay, that's great. Now, basing on your own understanding, and I don't want you to go that much bigger, what would you say is your personal definition of the word greatness?
Greatness is when we live our purpose. Yeah. But again, as you mentioning of that, we can define greatness in different perspectives depending with our level of life.
And how we view it.
To some people, having big mansion, that's greatness. Some people gaining a political mileage, that's greatness. Some people having so many things in life, they look at it as greatness. So one can say that the definition of greatness is relative, depending with what, and again, your mindset. Yes. So, but to me, I can say that achieving your purpose, that's greatness. So if I try to identify and define greatness according to your purpose, then you see I'm getting it wrong. It may seem big to me, to somebody else, not big.
Exactly.
People normally think that greatness is about achieving the great things of the world. You get it? Which in a sense is okay, is part of it. But one, you may achieve those things, but you not achieved your purpose. Do you know that?
Exactly.
Yes. Then you realize that you had put your lad on the wrong wall. But everybody from outside, they are looking at you, hey, this guy has it all. But down in your heart, you feel there's some emptiness.
Exactly.
When they begin to tell you, okay, you're great, you've done all these and these, they're wondering, okay, but I don't have the certification, the satisfaction that I think. So you see, achieving your purpose is the greatness. You can just summarize it there. So think about it.
Thank you, Simiyu. Now, Simiyu, let me ask, where can people connect with you, online or offline?
Well, you can find me. I'm on Facebook. I use the name George Simiyu. Perhaps maybe it's on a screen. George Simiyu. That's on Facebook. On LinkedIn is the same name, George Simiyu. On Twitter, it is I am George Simiyu. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and even you can
guys can get you
yes
online and to interact with you and share a lot with you.
I agree. Because I'm always very interactive.
Okay.
Perhaps on social media, because I share quite a number of things on my platforms and things close to that.
I know that.
And so you can always link up.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Now, Simiyu, thank you very much for being part of this show.
Right.
I think I consider this the end of the show.
Oh.
And having you today in the show was just an amazing thing for me, because it's quite not easy for someone to just have or put everything aside and come and grace the studio like you've done today.
Right.
So it's very grateful, and I'm thankful for that. Thank you so much, Simiyu.
Thank you, and
God bless you.
God bless you too.
Yeah.
Let's meet again at God's time.
Thank you so much.
Sure.